about him today. He was like, yeah, I don't think so. All right. So while Neil's not busy making daggers in Skyrim, and actually comes to class, he is a wonderful student. Neil was one of our students of the month in March, and you will have the honor of hearing him speak later this evening. He sat on the school board as a student representative. He's helped us plan, organize, and put into place various aspects of our teen-centered media library. He's even presented a grant to the Sequoia Schools Foundation, which, largely thanks to his efforts, we received. But the greatest impact he has had on our school and on our students has been to create and nurture a culture of reading at Tiger Mountain Community High School. Neil is a voracious reader. He plows through volumes and shares with others his insights. He has introduced countless students to John Green, his favorite author, and motivates reluctant readers to keep searching for that story that speaks to them. Most importantly, he never looks down upon others for their choices in reading. Rather, instead, he listens with keen interest to what others have to say about the stories they enjoy and the experiences they find meaningful. I hope that he continues with his plans to become an English teacher. And I also hope that his classes are filled with students as eager to learn new ideas and explore the complexities of the human condition, as Neil has here at Tiger. Neil, I leave you with the first words you ever read aloud in my class 2 years ago, by Walt Whitman from These Are Grass. You shall no longer take things at second or third hand, nor look through the eyes of the dead, nor feed on the specters in books. You shall not look through my eyes either, nor take things from me. You shall listen to all sides and filter them from yourself. Congratulations, Neil. There was part I could not share with you that I wanted him to see. Sorry for the inside joke. Okay. Don't be mad. James.
If you had told me, even just a year ago, that I would have graduated high school, much less have the honor of speaking at my graduation, I would have told you something about pigs flying. And yet, today, I stand in front of you at a podium wearing a long gown that I never thought I would put on. French writer and doctor Francois Rabelais' last words were allegedly, "I go to seek a great perhaps." The sublime scale of that sentence says something about how we imagine great people. Sadly, nostalgia is in the business of twisting memories into lies, which is something we should remember today as high school graduates. It wasn't easy for any of us, but I'll tell you one thing. It was certainly a grand adventure that I wouldn't trade for anything. Tiger is more than a school. For many who step foot on the gray-speckled concrete of this campus, it is home. Here, the teachers are not just teachers. They are friends and confidants. You walk out of a classroom and they tell you that they love you like you're their own, and they mean every word. At Tiger, we learned more than archetypes and literature. We learned how to apply that knowledge to better understand other cultures and recognize patterns in storytelling. We learned more than math formulas and chemical balances. We learned formulas for success and balances in friendship and love. And now we move on. The real world. I used to think when I was very young that adulthood would be a lot of talking with other adults about important things like politics and our favorite sports teams. Even now, I'm a little worried that it's less of my childhood fantasy and more standing in very boring lines and filling out fancy paperwork. And that makes it sound like I'm not excited for adulthood, but I am. You better believe I'm going to stand in those lines. I'm going to do that paperwork. I'm going to make that paperwork wish it was never born. I'm excited to buy my first crappy 20-pound TV. I'm excited to procrastinate on essays and instead watch very, very bad television shows on Netflix. I'm excited to move on with some of the most amazing people I've ever met here at Tiger. I'm excited to call my mom and dad and tell them I'm engaged. I'm excited to walk into a sterile white hospital room one day and see a cheap helium balloon with the phrase, "It's a girl" on it. I'm excited to one day walk across a stage much bigger than this and graduate college. I hope you all are too. This is a quote, one from a person who's become fairly well known at Tiger over the last 2 years, John Green. The whole "what do I do with my life" question implies that adulthood is this monolithic creature that, like, you acquire your job and your spouse, And then you just ride it out until time's wicked chariot shows up. 95% of romantic stories end with partners committing to each other because everything after that is just the blank, terrifying morass of adulthood. This monotonous grind in which the only real excitement in your life is occasionally finding a truly ripe avocado at the grocery store. And let me submit that one of the real reasons you're terrified is because you think you're only going to be able to do one thing. But I think what actually scares me about choosing whether to go to school and what to study is that each time you make a decision, those options narrow. And there's something a little terrifying about those options narrowing, because you become aware that they will continue to narrow until you are dead, and that sucks. But here's the other thing. If you don't make decisions, they still narrow. So here's my advice. Study broadly without fear. Learn a language if you can, because that will make your life more interesting. Read a little bit every day. But most importantly, try to surround yourself with people you like and make cool things with them. In the end, what you do isn't going to be nearly as interesting or important as who you do it with. From all of the senior class here at Tiger, I'd like to address every single person in this crowd. Thank you. Thank you to the parents, teachers, siblings, friends, the principals. Thank you so much to every single staff member at Tiger, the librarian, the front desk attendants Nazi. Every single person sitting up here in an incredible way. None of us could have done it without you. You probably don't hear it enough from us, but you're very important. Thank you. I'll leave you with one more quote, although one I've modified a bit to fit the situation. It's from Stephen Chbosky's famous young adult novel, The Curse of Being a Wallflower. I just want you to know that we had trouble in high school and you helped us. Even if you didn't know what we were talking about or didn't know someone who had gone through it, you made us not feel alone. Because I know there are people who say all these things don't happen. And there are people who forget what it's like to be 16 or 17. I know these will all be stories someday, and our pictures will become old photographs. We'll all become somebody's mom or dad. But right now, these moments are not stories. This is happening. We are here. I can see it. This one moment when we know that we are not a sad story. We are alive, and we stand up and see the lights on the buildings and everything that makes us wonder. And in this moment, I swear, we are infinite. Thank you.